Hello guys, welcome back to yet another episode of Content Monsters, and in today's episode we are going to review the new AirPods Pro second generation which has been launched recently. In fact, you don't even realize if it's the second generation of AirPods till you read what's written on the back of the box, and here it clearly says it's an AirPod Pro second generation with a MagSafe charging case. Now that I've opened the box, when you see, it all seems similar to what it was in the past. It seems like it's exactly the AirPods Pro. If you keep this next to the AirPods Pro, which was released in 2019, you won't be able to make out any difference at all. Even the buds look pretty similar. Everything inside the box seems the same as before. You're expecting a couple of set of earpieces. Till you open this and you realize they have an extra small earpiece as well for people who had an issue in terms of the fitting of the AirPod Pro. So clearly this is an addition as compared to the previous time. Last time a lot of people had issues with regards to the fitting. I know a friend of mine had issues with respect to the fitting of the pods, but I think that should be solved now. Now while the body of the AirPod looks pretty similar, you start noticing the difference. You can clearly see a small speaker here. The primary reason for its presence here is to update the customer once the AirPods are fully charged, or if someone is searching for the AirPods, if they're lying below the cushion, the speaker lets you find the AirPods that much easier. You can also see a small change on the side. They've given space to insert a lanyard. Obviously, one of the biggest issues people face is they tend to forget or they tend to lose their AirPods, but by inserting the lanyard here, they can ensure that this is not lost that easily. Though I must add that Apple is not giving a lanyard along with this box. That's something you'll have to buy separately. So in terms of its outward appearance, these are the two changes that one can see in the case of the AirPods, but by and large, in terms of outward appearance, it's pretty much the same. Let's try setting this up on the iPhone. I'm about to connect this to the iPhone now. Now I have the option of activating noise cancellation in my settings. I can also activate the transparency mode. As you can see, this AirPod also allows me a ear tip fit test. So it'll tell me exactly which ear tip fits me the best. So let me try the normal ear fits that come along with the pods. It also allows me personalized spatial audio. So basically I can get 3D sound. It allows me to customize that for myself. So let's see how this is done. I need to use my iPhone camera to personalize the spatial audio for the shape of my ears. All the front view angles have been captured. So as you can see, the default ear tips that come along with the AirPods are working perfectly for me. It's clearly telling me that both the tips are a perfect fit for me. So that's another change that's come up in the new AirPods second generation. In case of people, like I mentioned earlier about my friend, for whom the default ear tips don't fit, he can try the small or the extra small ear tips that come along with the new AirPods second generation. So now I'm clearly set, adaptive transparency is on, automatic ear detection is on. So let me now check what it sounds like. Well, in terms of sound quality, this clearly is amazing, as Apple has been claiming that the active noise cancellation has improved by almost twice as compared to the previous AirPods Pro. It clearly does seem like it. The sound quality is phenomenal, and once you start using it, that you do realize that there are definitely a lot of improvements compared to the previous version. Now, while we've just set this up and we've also seen that outwardly maybe a lot of changes may not be visible, and even when you keep the AirPods Pro second generation next to the AirPods Pro, the first version that came out in 2019, you might not be able to make out the difference. Apart from the speakers and the lanyard, there's a lot that has changed inside. Let's see what it is. Now, when the original AirPods were launched, it's clearly a magical product in terms of the way that the audiences could interact or consume with sound. It clearly was a very magical product. And when the AirPods Pro came in 2019, it was even better, with better fit, new designs, and active noise cancellation. And now with this version, it only takes the experience a couple of notches higher. Now, Apple AirPods Pro have a fairly long upgrade cycle, and it almost takes them 2 to 3 years for them to come with the next generation of AirPods Pro. And this one, again, like I mentioned, has come after almost 3 years. So typically the early adapters of the previous version are always looking forward to when the new version comes, primarily because the new version always offers a battery upgrade, and this also clearly has a much better battery life as compared to the previous version. So that clearly is one of the biggest strengths of the new AirPods Pro. The other significant strength or advantage of the new AirPods Pro second generation is the H2 processor, which this one has. The H2 processor is responsible for almost everything from battery management to spatial audio. The increased active noise cancellation and the new adaptive transparency both benefit from this new H2 processor. Like I mentioned in my first impressions, when I heard a song on this, the audio quality updates are immediately noticeable, and the low frequency bass punches even much more, and the audio sounds very crisp and clear. Adaptive EQ uses information from the internal microphone to control audio as it is played, so it sounds natural in your ear. A better processor clearly improves the algorithmic process of the new AirPods Pro. Personalized spatial audio that I just set up on the AirPods Pro improves the sound further by taking the user's ear shape into account. The iPhone's true depth camera lets customers scan the ears and sync this information across devices. Now let's talk about active noise cancellation, which, like Apple claims, is almost twice as better in the second generation AirPod as compared to the AirPods Pro, which came in 2019. The AirPods Pro create a seal on the user's ear canal when using the right sized ear tip. By using an array of microphones, the earbuds can play anti-noise that is equal to and opposite the external noise to cancel it out. This effect is called Apple Noise Cancellation, which is improved by almost twice as much as claimed by Apple, and something which I also experienced in the first hearing of a song on these earbuds. Now let's talk about the other new feature, which is the adaptive transparency. Now the adaptive transparency is actually quite the opposite of the original active noise cancellation. It actually lets the external noise in using outward facing microphones. This effect is helpful since the AirPods Pro seal off the ear canal and can create an underwater effect when the active noise cancellation is off. The effect of transparency mode can be described as augmented hearing. Some sounds will be amplified louder than what they are in real life, since the AirPod speaker is directing the noise into the ear canal. Now this effect can be jarring to some of the new users, but it is easy to adapt over a period of time. Now Apple takes this feature a step further with adaptive transparency. Rather than letting everything in, it is now most selective based on the environmental noise levels and frequency. Birds chirping, people talking, or a car driving by will still get through. However, a noise emanating from a loud bus idling on the street corner will be reduced. Most audio still gets in for safety reasons, but at much lower volumes that won't damage the user's hearing or interrupt the music. Adaptive transparency is accomplished by analyzing the environmental audio almost 48,000 times per second. The instant a loud noise begins, AirPods Pro can intercept it and reduce it. The feature requires a specific set of circumstances to trigger. Unless the user is looking for it, they shouldn't notice it's happening. So basically it reduces loud sounds like sirens. The user will be able to hear the environmental sounds. They will get into his ear, but at much reduced audio levels. So basically the H2 processor takes an external noise and remixes it when it is played back into your ears. So good sounds get in loud and clear, and bad sounds get through but in a muffled state. This impressive feature can work wonders when you're out on a road with a lot of traffic and the adaptive transparency turned on. The music was front and center while I was walking on the road, but people noise did come in to warn me that they were passing next to me. I could also still hear a car when it was approaching from behind me, but at much reduced volumes. Now let's move on to the physical on-device controls. Perhaps the most significant benefit of keeping the original design is the introduction of a new touch gesture. The stems can now be swiped for precise volume control. The new features do take some time to getting used to. It's not as precise as, say, turning the digital crown on the Apple Watch. It works best when using the thumb to steady the earbuds and sliding the pointer finger up and down. An audible tick noise can be heard in the earbud the gesture is performed on. What possibly doesn't work is a not so new design. While I mentioned they kept the design to possibly introduce new physical features, but in a market which is so crowded, which has so many earbuds in multiple forms, shapes, sizes and colors, maybe to people who are seeking variety, this plain design with their white color may not work as much. People are looking for new colors. I do understand design is at the centerpiece of everything that Apple does, but maybe, just maybe, this could have been the time for them to introduce one new color in the AirPods. I'm not saying they should have a range of colors like probably what a Samsung has, but at least one new, neat, clean color could have helped. More so because they're introducing new colors in their iPhones. They have a lot of new colors in the bands for the Apple Watches. So why deprive the AirPods of at least one new color? That clearly is going to be one significant letdown from the perspective of new users. Now, the other big change that has come about in the AirPods Pro 2nd generation is the MagSafe charging. The MagSafe charging case can now be charged over Lightning via MagSafe and also the Apple Watch charging puck. So basically, the variety of option plus the QI charging means that you'll likely always have a way to charge your AirPods Pro. So charging this piece is never going to be an issue. The speaker grill, like I said earlier, also serves a few purposes. It plays a loud beeping sound when locating the case via Find My. It also plays a charging sound when connected to power. Ask Siri to find your AirPods Pro and it will begin to chirp if it is within reasonable range. Now moving on to the Find My feature. Apple has enhanced the MagSafe charging case with new Find My capabilities. The speaker grill and the U1 chip work to ensure it is dead simple to find your missing AirPods Pro. The U1 is the same chip used in Airtag that enables recent iPhones to find them within a few feet. When in finding mode, an arrow will guide the user to the item while displaying how far it is. Last few feet can still be tricky if the AirPods Pro case is buried in a couch or a vehicle. So the case has a speaker that can emit a loud chiming noise to help locate it. These capabilities are both welcome and necessary. Before this feature came in, case manufacturers were selling these AirPods Pro with an AirTag slot to recreate the same experience. Now Apple promises up to 6 hours of listening on the earbuds and 30 hours of total with the charging case. 6 hours is a very long time to have audio playing, so we've yet to encounter the sad low power beep of a dying battery. We've just used this for a couple of hours, so it's difficult to say how much of what Apple is claiming is true with the new AirPods Pro, but it's something we'll find out soon. Now the question is, should you buy an AirPods Pro 2nd generation? Well, the answer to that question is fairly simple. The answer is a resounding yes, especially if you're in the market for new earpods, and more so if you're someone who's using Apple products like I do. Well, you definitely must buy this. My rating for this product would be a 7 on 10. Like I mentioned, the only things that possibly don't work for me is the lack of at least one color option. Maybe this lanyard feature doesn't work as well. You'll still need a cover for this, according to me, and possibly the battery life, while it's much better than the previous AirPods Pro, but still not par with the latest Samsung Buds Pro. But apart from that, I'd say this has fairly significant improvements over the previous generation AirPods, and I'm pretty happy with whatever I've seen and used of this till now. We'll know more about this as we use this going forward. So that's it from our side about the Apple AirPods 2nd generation. If you've used the AirPods Pro 2nd generation already, do let us know what you think of this product, whether you agree with our review or not, in the comment section below. We'd love to hear from you. If you like our video, please do subscribe to our channel and do share this video with friends and family. For many more such reviews, please do keep coming back. We'll see you soon. Thank you.